Hey, Omni Dogs and Omni Kittens. It's Omni Dog from Omni Dog's Vault. Thanks for tuning in to Root Beer Reviews, where today I'm going to be doing the best of 2017 DC Comics. And I'll give you a couple of caveats. One is that just because it's not included in here doesn't mean it's bad. It could just mean I didn't read it. This is just what I read this year. This is all on my own dime, so I can't read everything. And two, this is stuff that came out in 2017, but since I do collected editions only, these books could be from New 52 even, or released last year in floppy form, but they got released this year in collected edition. So that's what counts. What I am going to start with, first of all, Boylan Root Beer, made with cane sugar. Tastes great. Still, I consider them still a sponsor until I run out of the case they sent me. Good stuff. First book up, massive. Grayson, Super Spy Omnibus. This, what I'll do is I will read the back as a description. I don't really have time to review everything, but this is, you can assume that I loved all these books, obviously, because it's the best of 2017. So this is a thick, nice, thick Omni, the Super Spy Omnibus, written by the fabulous Tom King and Tim Seeley, with really great art by Michael Janin. And I hope I'm saying that right. I may not be, but I gave it my best shot. So I'll show you the art and read you the description from the back of all these books. As Robin, he was the Dark Knight's partner and protege. As Nightwing, he forged a heroic legacy of his own. And when vicious killers invaded our dimension, he sacrificed his secret identity and his life to save the world. At least that's what the world believes. To the heroes, villains, and ordinary citizens of Earth, Dick Grayson is dead, but death is the perfect cover story for an agent of Spiral. As the newest member of this top secret agency, Grayson helps scour the globe, trying to make sure I get a good picture here, scour the globe for the pieces of the Paragon, a slain god whose every organ is a weapon of mass destruction. But he's also Batman's man inside the Spiral, uncovering their secrets even as they strive to uncover the secret identity of every superhero on the globe. Well written, really well drawn. This book has it all. I love Grayson. Really nice, clean art, really nice color palette, and pretty much spot on writing. So what's not to love here with this book? It is a great superhero spy book. Not really superhero, but he's a kick-ass spy. And I dug this book. It's got just a lot of fun. And that's what we want. We want fun. Fun in the sun. Unless you got a lot of skin cancer like I do, and then you got to cover up. So don't read your books in the sun. Or do whatever you want. I don't care. It's your life. Next up, she needs no introduction. She's my gal. It's a New 52 run, but the omnibus was released this year. It's not objective at all. It's very subjective. I love Harley Quinn. And this was her Omni that was released this year. Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, with art by lots of people. Chad Hardin, John Timms, Stefan Rue, and Alex Sinclair and more. You love her or you hate her. I love her. Joker's ex-girlfriend turns her forces to good. She buys a big apartment building, has a bunch of wacky neighbors, gets involved in a bunch of crazy stuff as a psychiatrist by day and a roller derby girl by night. She's got a dead woodchuck that she communicates with. Her hyenas, a hot dog. I don't even know if she has her hyenas in this. She's got a little wiener dog that she takes care of. I forget if she's got her. I don't think her hyenas are in this one. Maybe they are, but I remember the little wiener dog in this. I definitely remember the dead woodchuck. I love this book. I love the art. I love the writing. I'm a sucker for all things Harley Quinn. So, yeah, I can't say really much about it. I love her. And so I love this book. Best of 2017 for sure. I burned through this book. A lot of times with big, thick omnis like Dick Grayson, I will stop and read other books, but this one, I just burned through the whole thing. Harley Quinn. I even got my friend Giovanni Menendez of A Week in Geekdom to get that book, and he loved it. It turned him into a Harley Quinn fan. Woo! He's also my producer for this show. Next up is, as you can imagine, DC is pretty heavily involved in capes and tights. So here's the first capes and tights book, Batman by Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso, the deluxe edition. This contains the stories written by and drawn by that team, and it's great. It's got Scars, Broken City, and Night of Vengeance, the Flashpoint Batman story, which in my 52 years, oh my God, 52 years of reading comics, has the best twist in it. The Batman Flashpoint story has the best twist in it that I've read in comics. It is fantastic. And here's a look at some of the art. It's got great stories, great art. I love the way this guy draws. I love Brian Azzarello. These guys did 100 Bullets together. They also included, for some kind of weird reason, they included the Wednesday comics, that big giant thing that DC did a few years ago, and it's shrunk down into deluxe. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. It's shrunk down into deluxe form, which makes it teeny tiny. Imagine this was originally on a giant format. It's one of the biggest books I have. It's still quite readable and very good, but it's funny to see it shrunk down into tiny size compared to the big broadsheet it was originally. But Batman by Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso, the deluxe edition, solid book. Loved it. Then we have something from Vertigo. I misplaced Volume 1, Shock. I know, my categorizing and alphabetizing and library is only now coming back together. Clean Room, excellent book. This is Volume 2 and 3. I got to find Volume 1. But boy, I loved this book. Let me read it to you, and I'll show you some of the artwork. Artwork is just fantastic. Well, I can't really show you that. Hell is real and the devil is coming. Astrid Mueller is a world-famous horror novelist, a publicly reviled huckster, and the all-powerful leader of a secretive cult whose tentacles reach into every sphere of American life. She's also humanity's last hope. You see, her organization's apocalyptic beliefs are neither fraud nor fiction. Ever since she was a child, Astrid has been able to see the extra-dimensional entities preying on our unsuspecting world. Look at this art. It's so good. And she's used every ounce of her fame and fortune to stop them. But what if that's not enough? Clean Room is one of the best books I've read in a long time. Great art, great writing, really, by Gail Simone. The art by John Davis Hunt, and beautiful color palette on it. Really fantastic artwork. I think this is Gail Simone's best work ever, and that's a big statement. She's written a lot of great stuff, but this is just a wonderful, wonderful book. And I think you guys, so far, I believe it's got 3 trade paperbacks, and I believe a 4th is coming out. So I would definitely pick this up if you want to read a good comic. Ignore it if you're not interested in good comics, because this thing is excellent. So that's Clean Room. It's volumes 2 and 3. The art changes in volume 3. Not necessarily bad. It's just a little bit different. It still keeps the same style, but the art does change, and it does change, but it's still a great read. So I totally dug it. Let's see, what comes next? Is it all Rebirth? No, we'll get to Rebirth in a second. What came out this year? Volumes 1 and 2 of The Flintstones. One of the best satires I've read in a long time. Very funny, very sharp biting banter, very sharp satire, as I said, on the American dream. And let's see, they were and if I'm not mistaken, it's only 2 volumes of the trades. It's only 2 volumes. Yeah, it's 2 volumes. Get them both. They're great. If it comes out in a hardcover, I will get it. I'm not a big upgrader, but I would upgrade this if the art comes out in um, big pages. It is absolutely wonderful. Flintstones, great satire, great commentary on life as we know it in the US of A and probably every first world country out there in Europe. Wonderful take on religion, wonderful take on society and capitalism. And it's funny too. I mean, it's got some biting humor in it. So, absolutely, definitely go out and get the Flintstones volumes 1 and 2. You will not regret it. I just can't say enough about this book. A lot of people already know about it, but it doesn't hurt to keep promoting it because it's great. Then we come to DC Rebirth. A lot of Rebirth came out this year in deluxe hardcover, and a lot of trade paperbacks came out. So I tried to concentrate on what I read that came out this year. Also, I tried to concentrate. Well, I've already reviewed a bunch of them, so I can just buzz right through them. But these are the ones that I really, really thought stood out. And let me take the dust cover off of this one because the book has just got a gorgeous inside, and that is Detective Comics. This is just gorgeous right here. That's a beautiful thing. This is a great book if you like Batwoman, because Batman forms a team of Clayface, Orphan, Siren, Batwoman, Red Robin, and did I get them all? Spoiler, Orphan, Clayface, Red Robin, and Batwoman. Yes. Batman forms a team with Batwoman in charge, and she does a great job. The artist and writer, really, this is one of the best Batwoman books you're going to read. They really nail it down in this book. I loved this book. Can't say enough about it. If you like your superheroes smartly written and well drawn, you'll like Detective. I certainly did. So there you go. There's some images from this book. It's got a great ending to it. It's an ongoing, but the ending of this book I thought was good. Really well done. This is written by James. Of course, I'm going to botch this name. Tinian the Fourth. Tinian. I'm terrible with names, but that's who wrote it. He's a good writer. He knows what's going on, and this art is really nice. So that's one of the better Rebirth books. And next, sadly, this book got canceled, but it's a wonderful book to read. Superwoman, Who Killed Superwoman by Phil Jimenez. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. Emanuela, okay, I guess I am going to try. Emanuela Lupacchino. Cappuccino, Lupacchino. So Superwoman is really good. I highly recommend it as a Rebirth title. Got canceled, so the second trade that's going to come out is going to be the last one, which is too bad because this book rocked. I really dug it. So that's that. Superwoman is great. Next book up, Batman by Tom King. He writes a great Batman. And he's got a team in it. Well, Gotham Girl and Gotham are it's not really a team, but they're new defenders of Gotham City. And it goes through, it's got a great story in it. It's got I Am Suicide and I Am Gotham. I Am Suicide is when he takes on Bane. Lots of interesting characters and characterization. Tom King just does a wonderful job on this book. I can't say enough about this book and the story arcs. This is Batman really well done. Of course, it's got Catwoman in it, who I am a wildly huge fan of, and all kinds of other interesting people in it. I can't say enough about this book. Batman Rebirth Deluxe #1, solid book. Then we have some super fun with Supersons. This book came out, and it is by Peter J. Tomasi and art by Jorge Jimenez, and it involves Jonathan Kent and Damian Wayne, the sons of Batman and Superman. This is an all ages book, but you will like it. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. I can't give you your money back if you don't like it, but if you don't like it, you have to question yourself on whether you like fun comics or not. This was a blast, and I can't wait to read the continuing adventures of the Supersons. This is the book that made me actually like Damian Wayne, which is really hard to do because I hated that kid. Snot-nosed punk. I just really hated him. But this is the book that made me start seeing him in a different light. So you want a good book? DC Rebirth. Can't go wrong with Supersons. And here's a book I reviewed already because I review every Rebirth book that I've read. I didn't think this book needed to be written. I was totally wrong. It is New Superman. Superman in China. I already did a review of this, so I don't want to repeat myself. But this book, what a great book. This book was really well written by Jean Lun Yang, who's famous for American Born Chinese. But not a thing wrong with this book. This book is great with great art and very, very well written. Can't say enough about New Superman. Definitely dig it a lot. Check this out. Really good book. And then last but not least, our big blue Boy Scout, Superman. I like this a little bit better than I did Action. This is also by Peter J. Tomasi. And I liked it a little bit better than Action Comics. This is Superman at his finest. It is just a great rebirth book. Part of me wishes I wasn't a trade waiter because I don't have any idea what's going on in the market right now with Doomsday Clock and Mr. Oz and everything else. So I sort of wish that I collected floppies still because I'm going to have to wait till next year to find out what all you guys are reading right now. But that is neither here nor there. Pick up Superman hardcover from Rebirth. You will be happy. It is Superman as you want to read him. I've already reviewed this book too. Ooh, there's Crypto, my favorite dog. Next to my own, of course. But yeah, I've reviewed all these Rebirth books already, so you can go back into my channel and pick up on the Rebirth reviews if you want to see an in-depth look. Another book that was great that I forgot to list was Green Arrow. Batgirl, Supergirl, those are great too. I really like the entire Rebirth line. Ryan Sace, my Welsh bastard friend, has read all of it, and he warned me away from a couple. I've already covered those, which ones you shouldn't read too, but this is the best of, so I don't want to worry about those books. So, here's to the best of 2017. I hope you enjoyed this vid. If you can, give me a like. You can subscribe, leave a comment. I always respond to comments. I understand some people don't. I don't understand that. If you take the time to write me a comment, you bet I'll write you a response because they've been overwhelmingly positive. Woohoo! But I'll take criticism too. Whatever. You think you can make the channel better? Sure. Give it a shot. All right. Well, I gave it a shot here. So thanks for watching. And next up will be Marvel. So thank you for watching and tuning in, and I'll be seeing you again soon.